Pada tanggal 15 Februari 1942, benar-benar memberikan kesan yang amat mendalam terhadap seluruh penduduk di Tanah Melayu. Kebijaksanaan Jepun menyerang Tanah Melayu melalui Kota Baru, Singgora dan Patani secara serentak dengan persiapan yang lengkap. Jepun berjaya menawar Tanah Melayu dan Singapura selama 70 hari. Kemampuan Jepun sebagai kuasa besar di Asia dipandang sepi oleh British telah memakan diri sendiri, dan siapa sangka Jepun berjaya mengambil alih kuasa di Tanah Melayu. Walaupun pendudukan Jepun di Tanah Melayu hanyalah 3 tahun setengah, namun kekejaman dan kesengsaraan yang ditanggung oleh penduduk Tanah Melayu sememangnya tidak dapat menggambar kewarasan sebagai seorang manusia. Hakikatnya, penduduk Jepun merupakan mimpi ngeri yang tidak pernah dijangka oleh penduduk di Tanah Melayu. Berdasarkan slogan yang dilakukan oleh Jepun, Asia untuk orang Asia telah banyak membantu Jepun dalam meraih kemenangan dalam usaha menakluk Tanah Melayu. Kemajuan peperangan, kapal pesawat, bilangan askar dan kedegilan mereka sendiri untuk menyerah kala akhirnya dihentikan kesan daripada pemboman di Nagasaki. Namun, penderitaan tidak terhenti setakat itu saja. Perjuangan diteruskan lagi dengan dugaan untuk menentang fahaman, keganasan dan ugutan komunis di Tanah Melayu. Pada tahun 1948, Tanah Melayu mengisytiharkan darurat. British telah bercampur tangan kuasa di Tanah Melayu untuk menentang komunis yang di mana sarangnya di hutan. Dengan keadaan huru-hara, porak-poranda, anggota komunis telah menikam perusahaan-perusahaan penting untuk bunuh, menghancurkan kilang dan mesin, merosakkan perhubungan, jalan raya dan membunuh mereka yang enggan tunduk patuh pada mereka. Walau bagaimanapun, penduduk Tanah Melayu juga berjaya melahirkan pejuang-pejuang baru yang rela berkorban demi kemakmuran dan keharmonian negara. Ekoran itu muncullah Singa Malaya.
Kolonel Dato Yeop Mahidin, atau nama penuhnya dikenali sebagai Yeop Mahidin bin Muhammad Shariff, dilahirkan pada 20 Februari 1918 di Kampung Lambu Kiri, Bota, Perak. Beliau telah meninggal dunia pada 1999 pada usia 81 tahun. Beliau mendapat pendidikan awal di Anderson School, Ipoh, Perak. Beliau telah dikenali sebagai peninju yang berdedikasi, bantamweight champion dan terlibat dalam hoki dan bola sepak serta dinobatkan sebagai Batman of the Year. Beliau juga merupakan ketua pelajar pada 1936. Dan beliau melanjutkan pelajaran di Malay College Kuala Kangsar. Di situ beliau menyertai Regimen Askar Melayu Diraja dan dilatih menjadi pegawai kanan kerajaan. Antara sumbangan beliau ialah menjadi Magistrat Teluk Angsung di Teluk Intan, penolong pegawai daerah Kuala Lipis, menjadi komander pasukan penentang tempatan, menjadi pasukan Pahang Wataniah, pengarah Malayan Home Guard, pengarah askar Wataniah, dan beliau telah bersara pada 1963.
Okey, sekarang kita berada di sekolah di mana Datuk Kolonel Yeop Mahidin mendapat pendidikan awalnya. Ini nama dia Sekolah Anderson School, ditubuhkan pada 1909.
Okey, sekarang ini kita berada di Padang Ipoh yang di mana pada waktu penjajahan Jepun berlakunya ritual purifying, yang di mana rakyat jelata dipaksa menjadi buruh untuk membina kereta api di Thailand, dan selebihnya akan diberi hukuman pancung. Padang Ipoh.
Seterusnya sekarang kita berada di Sekolah Menengah St. Michael, di mana di sini pada zaman penjajahan Jepun, di sinilah tempat pusat pemerintahan Jepun di Perak. Ini adalah bangunan-bangunan lama dia. Di sini beliau telah mendapat pendidikan menengah dan telah bertemu dengan isterinya, iaitu Datin Zahariah Mokhtar, satu-satunya wanita yang telah diterima masuk ke MCKK. Dan di sini juga beliau telah dilatih untuk menjadi pegawai kanan kerajaan sebelum ditempatkan di Teluk Intan. Okay, Assalamualaikum dan hai semua. Hari ini saya dan tim saya akan menembual seorang individu yang bernama Sir Ian Anderson, seorang ketua pengarah di Ipoh World, sebuah organisasi yang berasaskan pendidikan dan bukan keuntungan. Jadi, kita akan minta Sir Ian Anderson untuk menerangkan sedikit sebanyak tentang latar belakang diri dia.
As you heard, my name is Ian Anderson, and I am a retired Royal Naval Commander, having spent 30 years in the British Royal Navy. At the end of 30 years, I moved into a company that built warships, and I became a project manager building warships, and that led to me being sent to Malaysia in 1990 to work with your government for the sale of 2 new warships. And consequently, I was here working alongside the Ministry of Defence for the next 10 years until 1999. Year 2000, I moved to Ipoh, and after a stability period of settling in, I was discovered by a star reporter drinking a glass of beer in the FMS pub, the oldest pub in Malaysia, and she asked me, what do you think of Malaysia? And I said, it's a lovely place. I actually said, life is good here. But I have to tell you that they don't know how to look after their heritage. And this next day came out in the Star newspaper, very bad from Malaysia, me with a big jug of beer, a big photograph, saying that I was disgusted with the way you dealt with your heritage. Just one day later, a local lady knocked on my door and said, you're complaining about our heritage, why don't you do something about it? And so I said, I will. On my home computer, I started Ipoh World. But very soon, I discovered that it costs money to do things about heritage. And so I went to a local company, the head man, Dato KK Lim, who was, when he was alive, ran Kinta Properties, and I asked him for some funding. He said yes, and that was in 2005, and that company have funded us ever since. What do they fund us to do? Well, first of all, they've given us an office, and Christopher and other staff, and we run a history database which currently has about 8,000 items of history on it about Ipoh and the Kinta Valley, and it has about 14,000 scans of documents, photographs and the like. And that is available to students worldwide, also to filmmakers who are making documentaries about the area, and authors and researchers, and we don't charge anything for it. So we have been doing that since 2004 until 2013. But then our sponsors, Kinta Properties, decided they would like us to build a museum. And so we did. We built a museum in Old Town. We took an old building, restored it and turned it into a museum. And it's known as Ipoh World at Hanchin Petsu. And it's all about the Hakka tin miners in the old days when they were really, really rich. And since then, we carry on building the database. We run a weekly blog, 3 times a week, interactive blog. And apart from that, we carry on running the museum and we collect antiques. And we have hundreds of local antiques which are all in the store, which we're hoping before too long to be able to put on display for the people. And one of the good things about us is we do not charge anybody any money. We do this all at a loss every day, every week. My position is the founder of the company, curator of the museum, designer of the museum, and managing director of Ipoh World. And just to finish with that, I'm 78 years old and I only have one eye. Thank you.
Okey, kita akan teruskan kepada soalan seterusnya. Berdasarkan pengetahuan tuan, bagaimanakah melayan Home Guard dapat menangani masalah keganasan Parti Komunis Malaysia di Perak?
It's not fair to say that the Home Guard. It's not fair to say that the Home Guard quelled the communists. They were quelled by a lot of other people, military and police and secret service. A lot of people were involved in quelling the communists. But the important thing about the Home Guard was how they prevented supplies, food, etc. getting to the communists from the Chinese sympathizers in the villages. That was what their main role was. And it was through that the communists lacked food, they lacked supplies, and that of course weakened them and made it easier for other people to fight them and to put them down. So really it was the whole idea of keeping food away from the communists, which is what the Home Guard's prime role was. And it worked very successfully. It was a very good plan.
Okey, soalan berikutnya kita akan bertanya tentang askar wataniah dengan lebih lanjut. Jadi saya akan terangkan sedikit tentang askar wataniah. Okey, askar wataniah dia ditubuhkan pada tahun 1958 seperti yang kita tahu, selepas Ordinan Tentera Wilayah ditandatangani pada tahun 1958 juga. Jadi askar wataniah sangat dekat dengan kita punya subjek Titas, iaitu Dato Yeop Mahidin bin Muhammad Shariff, kerana dia merupakan salah seorang teraju utama askar wataniah. Dia diberi nama Father of Wataniah ataupun Bapa Wataniah kerana dia merupakan antara individu utama yang membawa naik askar wataniah menjadi sebuah kuasa utama dan dipercayai. Jadi kita akan minta Sir I. Anderson untuk menerangkan dengan lebih lanjut asal usul dan tujuan askar wataniah.
As you know, 1950 they formed the Home Guard. We spoke about that just now. Mostly Malays, male and female. And they continued very satisfactorily until 1958. But in 1958, a lot of the communist problem had gone away. And although it didn't really die completely until many, many years later, the government felt that the Home Guard was no longer required. And so in 1958, they stood down the Home Guard, cancelled them. But a lot of the people, a lot of the Malays in the Home Guard were very upset about that. They felt they wanted to serve their country. And so after a lot of consideration, the government decided that they would continue those who wanted to volunteer as a new force called the Territorial Army, to give it the English name. And that Territorial Army was formed on the 1st of June 1958. It was formed in 2 different types of soldiers. They were all infantry, but there was what they called the 300 battalions and the 500 battalions. Now the 300 battalions, that was 5 groups who were mobile. And they still exist today. And so if you have an emergency and you need some soldiers, you can call on these people and they will go anywhere. That's the 300 group. The 500 group, they were a bit more like the Home Guard. They were static. They only stayed in their villages. And there are 16 battalions of those today. And here in Ipoh, we have Battalion 503, which is the Perak Battalion. And so it was a natural transition, really, from the Home Guard, who were armed and trained, who wanted to serve their country, into a better armed and a more trained and more qualified group of people, which is today's your territorial army. Heritage. What is heritage? Most people don't understand what heritage is. I like to define it as everything that was here when you arrived as a small baby, that was your heritage. And everything you leave behind you when you pass on to another world, you've left behind heritage for other people. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's think about the trees, the mountains, some of the old houses, the old buildings, your culture, your dances, your songs, the Malay poetry. All of these things are your heritage. And if you destroy them, as we are here at the moment, we're destroying everything, then you're not going to leave any heritage for your children or your children's children, and so on. And so, my message is, think before you destroy. Because once you've destroyed, it's gone forever. And therefore, your children will never be able to see what you enjoyed. And that's sad. So, don't forget, heritage is important. Don't destroy it. It's valuable. And indeed, if you treat it carefully, you can even make money from it, like tourism, for example. Okay? Careful. Look after your heritage.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk